Hi friends, I am Imran Ali. Today my topic of discussion is possession in jurisprudence. But before moving towards the topic, let me remind you, please don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. The idea of possession. Possession is very difficult to define in English jurisprudence, but it is a very important topic. Human life and society would become impossible without the retention and consumption of material and non-material things. Food, clothes, tool, etc. are essential items to use. We get holdover to first to claim possession. It is not just acquisition of things, but it is a continuing claim for use of the item. It may be legal or illegal. It is a prima facie evidence of ownership, and anyone desiring to disturb a possessor must show a better title or better possessory right. Possession literally means physical control over a thing or an object. It expresses the closest relation of the fact that can exist between a thing and the person who possesses it. In law, possession means a fact or condition of a person having such control of property that he may legally enjoy it to exclusion of others except against the true owner or prior possessor. Definition of possession. In Roman law, possession was termed as a possessio. The term possessio denoted physical control over things. The concept of possession is though basic and essential in human life, it is difficult to define. There is no fixed or precise definition of possession because it is a legal as well as factual concept. Several jurists have defined the term possession differently. According to Salmond, the possession of a material object is the continuing exercise of a claim to the exclusive use of it. Thus, possession involves two things. Number one, claim of exclusive user, and number two, conscious or actual exercise of this claim, that is physical control over it. The former is the mental element called as animus possidendi, meaning intention to possess, and the latter is the physical element called as corpus possidendi, meaning the physical power to retain the exclusive use of the thing which is possessed. Frederick Pollock's definition. He pointed out that in common parlance of a man is said to possess or to be possession of anything of which he has apparent control, or from the use of which he has the apparent power of excluding others. Savigny defines possession as intention coupled with physical power to exclude others from use of material object. Marx Bay states that possession is the assurance to practice physical authority over a thing all alone, benefit combined with the ability to do as such. Ownership and possession. Most of us often confuse the term ownership and possession and use them as synonyms. However, in law, both these terms have distinct legal definitions that are quite distinguished. Ownership involves the absolute rights and legitimate claim to an object. It means to own the object by the owner. Ownership is the right of the owner against the world, indefinite in point of the user, unrestricted in point of disposition or destroying, and unlimited in point of duration over a thing. The transfer of ownership is technical and long process and involves conveyance. Possession is more the physical control of an object. The possessor has a better claim to the title of the object than anyone except the owner himself. As per the definitions, it is the continuous exercise of a claim to exclusively possess and use the object or thing. Transfer of possession is fairly easier and less technical. Elements of possession. There are two elements of possession. Number one, corpus possession means physical element, and number two, animus possidendi means mental element. Number one, corpus possession. Corpus means that the existence of such physical contact of a person with thing as to give rise to a reasonable assumption that the others will not interfere with it. By corpus is implied a compelling physical control of the object. Savigny clarifying it says, the physical intensity of managing the subject promptly and of barring any remote office over it is the factum which must exist in each obtaining of possession. Number 2. Animus possidendi. Animus means an intention to hold possession against all others except the true owner. That is to say, the animus is the conscience of the intention of an individual to exclude the others from the control of an object. Animus basically means the mental element or the aim to hold the possession as proprietor against all others. In simple words, it is the cognizant aim to avoid others from the objective aim of possession. Without the mental element, there can be no possession. Important kinds of possession. There are basically 8 important kinds of possession. Number 1, corporeal possession. Number 2, incorporeal possession. Number 3, mediate possession. Number 4, immediate possession. Number 5, constructive possession. Number 6, adverse possession. Number 7, de facto possession. And number 8, de jure possession. Number 1, corporeal possession. Objects which have physical or materialistic manifestation and which our senses can perceive are corporeal possession. Thus, it is the persistent exercise of a claim on the use of material or tangible objects. In simple words, we can say that possession of material or tangible object is called corporeal possession. For example, house, car, book, wristwatch, etc. Number 2, incorporeal possession. Incorporeal possession is the possession of intangible objects or non-material objects. Thus, it is continuing exercise of a claim on the use of non-material or intangible object. For example, trademark, goodwill, patent, copyright, etc. According to Selman, corporeal possession is possession of an object, whereas incorporeal possession is the possession of a right. Number 3, mediate possession or indirect possession. Mediate possession of an object is the possession of a thing through a mediator, like a middleman. We can say like an agent, friend, or servant. It is also called indirect possession. As the thing remains in possession with another, the possessor has lesser degree of physical control over such thing. For instance, if I purchase a book through an agent or my servant, I have mediate possession so long as the book remains in the possession of my agent or servant. Number 4, immediate possession or direct possession. In such possession, the relation between the possessor and the thing possessed is a direct one and immediate without any intervening agency or third party intervention. It is called immediate or direct possession. In immediate possession, as the thing is in possession of the possessor directly, he has highest degree of control over such thing. For instance, when I go to electronic market and purchase a laptop, I have immediate possession of it without any intervening agency. Number 5, constructive possession. Constructive possession is not actual possession. It is a possession in law and not possession in fact. According to Pollack and Wright, it is a possession which arises only by the construction of law. Constructive possession is the authority over an object without having actual possession or charge of that material. For instance, when I give the key of my car to the driver, here my driver was the constructive possessor of my car until he delivers me the key. Number 6, adverse possession. Adverse possession means the possession of some property or object without legal title for a specific time period, sufficient to become an acknowledged legal owner. If adverse possession continues peaceful and undisturbed for the number of years, he can claim ownership and the true owner's right, ownership, gets extinguished. Sometimes we also define it informally as squatter's right. Number 7. De facto possession. It is a Latin word meaning in fact. De facto possession means the possession which exists in reality even if it is not legally recognized. De facto possession exists where the thing is in the immediate occupancy of a party. The person in de facto possession has the physical control of the thing to the exclusion of others and has animus and corpus over the material object. De facto possession may be described as actual possession. The definition of de facto is something real but not formally accepted. An example of something de facto is a person who functions as a parent even though they are not related to the child, a de facto parent. Number 8. De jure possession. De jure is a Latin word meaning in law, lawful, legitimate, or a matter of law. De jure possession can be described as possession in law. De jure possession exists when person claims a thing as his own in natural, normal, legal manner by occupying a thing without any dispute as to his legal right to possess and enjoy the thing. Legal possession may exist or without property in possession. Modes of acquiring possession. There are 3 basic modes of acquiring possession. Number 1, by taking. Number 2, by delivery. And number 3, operation of law. Number 1, by taking. It is the acquisition of possession without the consent of the previous owner, and it may either be rightful or wrongful. For example, as Caton says, where an innkeeper seizes the goods of his guest who has failed to pay his bills, there is acquisition of possession by rightful taking. But where a thief steals something, he acquires possession wrongful taking. Number 2, by delivery. It is the acquisition of possession with the consent of the previous owner and is of 2 types, actual and constructive. Actual delivery is the physical or actual transfer of a thing from the hands of one person to another. Constructive delivery is one in which there is no direct or actual transfer of the possession of the thing. Number 3, operation of law. Possession can be acquired by the operation of law, also like in case of adverse possession and of succession. Conclusion. Possession is the most basic relation between man and a thing. Possession is a prima facie or proof of an evidence of ownership. There is no any fixed or precise definition of possession because it is a legal as well as factual concept. There are 2 elements of possession, namely corpus and animus. There are 8 different kinds of possession, and there are also 3 basic modes of acquiring possession. So that's all for today. I hope you will like this video and find it beneficial in your academic studies. If you have any sort of queries or questions related to this topic, please comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel for more informative videos. Till next video, take care. Allah Hafiz.